Stunt riders, we've all seen them and been impressed with them. And like me, probably, you've stood in the crowd and watched them and said, how the flipping heck does he do that? Well, I'm going to try and find out, because Dave Coates here is going to tell us how to do all these stunts. Wheelies, first of all, Dave. How do we do a wheelie?
Well, there's different ways of doing a wheelie, but the way I do it, I try to sort of get it in first or second gear, slip the clutch a bit, rev it, slip it at the same time, and get it to come up. Sometimes I just nick it straight into third gear, and then I start messing about, sort of getting it really high up and playing around with the back brake and what have you.
But it's sustaining it, doesn't it? I mean, you see lads pulling away from traffic lights and it wheel off the ground, back down, but you keeping it up and going for it.
Yeah.
So what's that? Is it finding a balance or what?
Yeah, it's finding out where it balances out at, and sometimes going past that and putting your back brake on to slow yourself down a bit and stop it from going right back over.
Yeah, because that's the fear, isn't it? You think, well, if I'm going up to a balance point and I get it wrong and I go too far back, I'm going to flip it. But you control that with the brake, do you?
Yeah, if it gets too high and you think it's going to go over, I mean, the first, your natural instinct is to take your feet off and bail out the back.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, if you stay there, put your back brake, just dab your back brake on, it'll come down faster than it's gone up.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'll remember that. No, I must explain that not for 1 minute are we advocating anyone try this, because Dave is a highly trained professional stunt rider and he works in controlled surroundings like this on proper race strips. Right, that's wheelies, so we'll all be trying that tomorrow now. What about stoppies? That's the other thing.
Stoppies, I think the main thing with the stoppie is to get your front tyre well warmed up so it's nice and sticky, and just generally get going at a reasonable amount of pace, and just gradually sort of put the brake on harder and harder and really squeeze on. You can just feel the back end come up and get a bit light, and then you can, once you start coming off the ground, you can maybe control it a bit more.
Yeah, because I've noticed you don't sort of just go bang. It's a progression. Your forks are like compressed, aren't they, before the back end starts? Have you ever popped your fork seals out?
I've only ever done one fork seal, so I haven't done bad on fork seals.
Hey, where are you buying your fork seals from? That's what we all want to know. Right, the other thing that we see you and all the other stunt guys doing, burnouts. Getting the back tyre hot, lots of smoke.
Yeah.
What's the secret with that?
You can do that, you can try that two ways. You can sort of ride along in a straight line and just, again, gently put your front brake on as you try and rev the bike as well, and hopefully it'll light the back end up, get the back end spinning, and just control it as if you're just riding slowly, really. Yeah. Or you can sort of get it going with your feet on the floor, get it into a normal burnout, and then just gently try and put one foot on your peg, and try and get the other one up, and just try and ride it out.
Just let the front brake off a bit, innit?
Just generally let the front brake off.
What about the donuts going round? Because that looks particularly difficult.
Yeah, the donuts, once you get into doing a burnout in a straight line, a lot of the times the bike will tend to drift off to one side, and if you just follow it round and let it go where it wants to go at first, you'll end up doing a donut and getting smaller and smaller.
All right, I'm probably falling off.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing that you do, that I've seen other people do as well, is skiing off the back.
Yeah.
Right, you jump off the back, and you don't appear to have any kind of control of the throttle or the steering when you jump off the back. Is that the case?
Yeah, well, you've definitely got no control of the throttle, but you can, to a certain degree, pull it to one side and straighten it up if it tends to veer off to one side. You can pull it back. But then again, if you start skiing and then take your hands off there, you can't even do that.
Right. So what about the throttle though when you're skiing? Because I noticed your throttle on yours, it returns. So what do you do?
Well, what I do is I usually get into fifth gear, so it's you're going at a fair old rate, and just shut the throttle off, then shuffle myself back, grab all the grab rail, leap off the back. And,
it's getting back on that amazes me. How'd you get back on? I know you jump back on, but I mean...
Yeah, you're going too fast to push off with your feet. You've just got to sort of like spring up in the air and then pull yourself forward on the grab rail.
Have you ever not made it?
I've come close a few times.
You're completely mad. Well, brilliant. We will never cease to be impressed. And remember, as I said before, very important, Dave is highly trained, professional, and he does this for a living, apart from other things. What do you do for a living?
I have my own construction business as well, so...
So you're a builder?
Yeah.
So you can fix bikes?
Well, no.
Hopefully you won't have to. So there we are. Don't try this at home. Leave it to the experts.